Welcome to another episode of the Orange Nerd Show. Today we're talking all about Jared Bush's comments. Jared Bush is the head of Walt Disney Animation Studios. Is it possible that Disney Animation is going to get back into the hand-drawn animation game with big theatrical films? Is that a possibility? We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to speculate up next on the Orange Nerd Show. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of the Orange Nerd Show. If you're wondering why I'm holding a toothbrush, it's because I don't have my orange highlighter. So this is the makeshift highlighter in the meantime. Welcome to the Orange Nerd Show, where we talk about everything except the theme parks. This topic is courtesy of Mr. Italiano. He brought this to my attention. George, welcome back on the show, brother.
Absolutely. Always glad to be on the show and talking in-depth conversations, whether it is, theme parks on regular Orange Grove 55 or studio and business side on the Orange Nerd Show. So it's always a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. George, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. Well, you can find me right here on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And you could also find me on my new YouTube channel, Citrico Central, sister channel to Orange Grove 55.
There he is. All right. Subscribe to Citrico Central here on YouTube. Let's go ahead and share the screen real quick. Give me just a second, everybody. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is courtesy of therap.com. I will be linking it in the description down below. But it says here, quote, "I love 2D," end quote, Bush said. Right now, we have 2D artists who are doing some bonkers, amazing things. I'll leave it at that, Bush said, with a wink when he asked about the format returning to the studio. I mean, look, he didn't say it, but in my opinion, that sounds like a confirmation.
Mm-hmm. The fact that he's saying that there's 2D artists that are working on things, like, why would you even have a section of the department open for that if you're not considering on bringing something back? And also, there was official clarification that Disney legend and Disney veteran Ron Clements, who brought The Little Mermaid, Hercules, Princess and the Frog, Aladdin to life alongside with his partner in crime, John Musker, Ron is coming out of retirement. The fact that he's going to come back into the studio and mentor the newer generation of animators. So the fact that you have a seasoned Disney legend and Disney animator who created all these classic 2D Renaissance films and then even into the 2000s. And then you have the head of the animation studio that's hinting at 2D animation. Again, with Disney, things aren't always a coincidence. So
yeah, and this is one of those things where he doesn't want to give the confirmation, the total green light. But I mean, this is as much of a green light as you can possibly do.
Yeah.
Everything from like, I'll leave it at that, and then the wink.
Yeah. I
mean, there's something going on. Now, Disney has shown a willingness to kind of dabble in different kind of art styles. We've seen it recently with Wish. They're not, even in Pixar, they're not doing the standard CGI stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I think they also confirmed that with a new movie coming out, Gato, with the black cat.
Oh, yeah.
That it's going to dive into. It has like the computer CGI renderings, and then also have like that like 2D-ish kind of mix, like sort of how they did with, as you mentioned, Wish, also the short Paper Man. So, and they're kind of diving into having like that Italian artistry, because the movie is going to be set, I believe, in Italy.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, they already dabbled with it. They're moving along with it. And then again, with Ron Clements coming back and Jared Bush making that statement, I mean, that's pretty much saying yes without actually saying yes.
Exactly. And this is what fans have been wanting for a really long time. I don't know why they gave up on hand-drawn animation. You can do both. They're both beautiful mediums. I mean, you can do the CGI thing, and you should do the CGI thing. There's a lot of great stuff that can come from CGI, and that has come from CGI, but you should also continue hand-drawn. There's still value that you can pull from that as well. Why do one or the other? Why be a one-trick pony?
And when a lot of people say that no one is into 2D animation anymore, I beg to differ on that, because a lot of people are into anime, and anime is nothing but, I mean, yeah, they use computer CGI with certain sequences, but for the majority of the factor, it's 2D artistry. So I mean, the fact that we've seen at FanFest, like with One Piece and everything, and how anime is like with Studio Ghibli and everything, that it's people are still into 2D animation. I just think it's just finding the right medium and the storytelling with the characters and everything, and it has to like hit that lightning in a bottle again.
Yeah, yeah, and it will. I mean, if they can do a great hand drawn animated movie on the same level as like a Beauty and the Beast,
oh man,
we're cooking with gas. And look, I mean, I get it with technology and everything. You know, maybe obviously you can't do the way they used to do it, where you have hand painted cells and things like
right.
that. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more computer involved in the process, but have it as much hand drawn as you possibly can while still being realistic, basically, you know.
Now, whether or not that they utilize 2D animation or if it's CGI, I wanted to ask you, because I brought this up on Citrico Central. I think it was on one of the lives. And it was actually a question that I asked you before I became part of Orange Grove 55. It was when you answered my for your Q&A. The fact that the movie Gigantic was in the roster for the animation, it was supposed to be like a twist on the Jack and the Beanstalk fairy tale. And they had concept, they had the story in place. They even teased it in Zootopia, the scene with the weasel when he had like the bootleg Disney movies, and it was like a knockoff, but they incorporated like the animals. Gigantic was part of that because at the time of Zootopia's production, so Gigantic was also in production. So the fact that they canceled it, do you think that they could bring it back? Maybe not in the same way that they were going to, but maybe still maybe like pull the book off the shelf, so to speak, like they did Beauty and the Beast, and retell it.
Oh yeah, Little Mermaid, The Snow Queen, which turned into Frozen, Beauty and the Beast. These are all stories that Walt Disney dabbled in that he wanted to tell and never got around to actually making it into a final product. So ideas never die at Disney.
Yeah.
So just because Gigantic was shelved does not mean that film is dead forever. In all actuality, there's a very good chance it will return. Yeah. In my opinion, because we've seen it many times at Disney.
It's true.
You know, so. But anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I think that covers it. I know this was a short kind of little orange nerd, but I think it was just very important to mention because we don't really know what this is going to become of it. But the fact that it's in circulation and there are talks, especially coming from the head of Disney Animation, and then again also bringing back a seasoned Disney animator to kind of mentor the new generation.
Something's happening.
Something's in circulation here for sure. Yeah. So even though sometimes big things come in small packages, so even though this is a short video, I think it's very substantial that it was brought, to our attention so we could bring it to you. And then hopefully we could look back on this and say, hey, you know what? We were right.
Yeah, no, I think it's great news. I think it would be a wonderful thing for Disney to do. So Disney, if you're watching, Jared Bush, if you ever watch this, please follow through. We would love hand-drawn animation back at Disney. George, where can everybody find you on social media?
Absolutely. You can find me right here on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And also check out my new YouTube channel, Citrico Central, sister channel to Orange Grove 55.
There he is. Everybody, thank you for watching this episode of the Orange Nerd Show. And until the next time, see you later.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.